track that they're trying to do. Because I don't think it's done yet.
No.
Like, I think Kumo just keeps, like, getting excited and kind of leaking. You know what I mean? Like, different content are like, hey, we're doing this today.
There's just a big old pile of dirt out there right now. You know what I mean?
Right.
They removed all the asphalt. Who knows what they're going to bring in, rocks. Or...
Did they remove it, or did they just lay it over the asphalt? I saw that they were doing something with it, but I don't know.
It looked like they scraped up all the asphalt to where it was just the soil underneath of the mountain.
Yeah.
For the most part.
He was saying that, or he alluded to that they were going to build something different to like compensate for the lack of Minami.
Rallycross.
Well, no. I mean, they're going to do that with the Minami track, but he almost made it sound like they were going to build something additional for like another drift course. And
I didn't hear nothing about that.
And I don't know if that's just me bullshitting or not, because it very well could be.
I know they're remodeling or I don't know if it's a remodel or if it's a renovation of school course. But either way, it would be nice because that's my favorite one.
What school course? Yeah. I think that's
can never go wrong with school course, dude.
I almost wonder if that's like our just MSP.
It's the fun. Yeah, it's the funnest one. It could be a beginner's place to learn, and then it could be an expert veteran's place to go destroy their tires and have fun while finishing up that last handful of laps.
I'm kind of with you. I think. I don't know. I think we obviously kind of liked the technical side of things, and I think school course was just laid out really fun to get close tandems with people too. Like, especially because it was tight. You know what I mean? So it's like you're not even going fast, but just being close to people, like there's so much more opportunity to like fuck around. And
that's how all the Misawa guys and all the Yokota guys got real close because of that track.
Yeah.
At first, like, I knew a guy from Yokota, and, like, I had talked to him on Instagram, and then, like, we all ended up going to the track at the same time at a Matsuri, but we didn't really all hang out together until we started driving together, and then everyone started just, like, doing train tandems.
Yeah.
And, like, at one time we went, like, we were the main attraction.
Right.
Like, all the locals from in-house Japan that came there were like, all these Americans out here just driving these freaking crazy cars doing cool stuff.
Yeah. So we got some questions coming in on Twitch. It says, Jared, your Chaser was a sweet ride and you drove the hell out of it. Were you ever terrified of putting it into a wall?
I did put it into a wall.
Right. But pre that, what was it like for you? Do you think you babied it at all?
No. I didn't baby it at all.
You sold the GX like straight up, right?
Yeah.
So this was like your only Chaser.
I sold the GX because I bailed on the plan of building that into a JZX.
Right.
I'm back to the daily drift car life.
Yeah. Was it like a hard moment when you did put it into the wall, or were you like, well, that was gonna happen?
Well, it wasn't. It was. I'm not gonna leak too much information, but when I crashed the car, let's just say it was right down the street from where I was living.
Got it. I remember you telling me this now. Yeah.
I just couldn't keep it in my pants till the snow let up. It was like a cold night. It's springtime, but it's still like in the spring in Misawa, everyone knows there's going to be that one more dump of snow.
Right.
And it was like that time frame.
Yeah.
I still had Stellus tires on.
Gotta burn them. And then we have another question that's, how much seat time do you think it took before you were comfortable like whipping the daily driver? Because I know you had the 14 as like kind of your track dedicated car for a minute there.
So when I first got it, I took it straight to MSP. And I was like, because I got it kind of late because the shipping company that was delivering it to me damaged the roof.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So it was on a car carrier with multiple vehicles.
Yeah.
So I guess it was in the very back at the bottom, and there was a K car above it. And halfway through the trip, that shit fell on top of my car.
What?
And dented it, and like almost potentially could have shattered the sunroof.
Did they pay you out for it?
Because there's a sunroof Tour V.
Yeah.
So they sent it back. My dealer got it repaired. The shipping company paid for the repair.
Okay.
And it just delayed it coming to me.
Yeah.
So like my estimated date of arrival got pushed back another like 3 weeks, and I had I had a month to get it JCI'd on the road so I can drive it to Fall Matsuri.
I got you. Damn.
And it was like 3 weeks of just crunch time, dude.
Yeah.
Like I had all my parts lined up, ready to go. Let's see, parts, and then got it registered, got it to, signed up with a base, and then took it to Hachinohe, got it JCI'd so it can be on the street.
Right.
And went straight to MSP.
Do you think you would have whipped a daily driver from the get-go, or do you think it took that 14 for you to get comfortable to be like, okay, I know what I'm doing now?
I did daily drive my white 14.
You did it for, oh, that's right. You did do the white one. Because I remember, and you daily drove the red one for a minute there, didn't you, before you took it to MSP?
The original plan with that was make the red car the daily, make the white car the track car.
Right.
Because it had the knuckles and this and that.
Yeah.
But then the red car had a better engine setup, rebuilt, S15 turbo, and I kind of wanted that as a daily. Didn't do it.
Yeah.
I just liked that white car too much. So at one point, I just had 2 Sylvias to drift.
Right. I remember it didn't last me too long. I think I daily drove the Altezza for a little bit as I was learning, but then there was a point where I was like, I probably should stop, like just in case, because it was like if I crash this or something, then I'm fucked and I don't have.
That was the hurdle for me was registered car. This gets me to work. I do not want to do anything too crazy on track.
Right.
Because it needs to get me to work.
Right.
And I was like, I cannot be drifting like this. I need a car that I am not worried about.
Yeah.
So I got the other 14.
Right.
And then from there, my skill was like.
Yeah. Dude, it was nuts. I mean, you progressed so fast.
Yeah. I went hard for a couple seasons.
Right. And then even like Jake drove a lot harder than I did. I really think I babied that Altezza.
You did, because that man drove that shit with no brakes.
He tore that car
we were doing tandems, no brakes. That dude's wild.
It lasted forever though, dude, because that Beams had like 230,000 kilometers on it. Like it was tired, man. But
I drove it. We dubbed it shit car.
Yeah.
And it was fun. And then I got into it and I was like, that was the weirdest feeling car I ever drove in my life. Because it was that NA and like the way it was just violent. It just had to be violent.
Dude, it was so much fun. I miss that thing. Yeah, the knuckles were like the really old school style knuckles where they just like it acted as an RCA on the front to correct the steering or to correct the bump steer, basically.
Yeah.
Not even the bump steer, but just the geometry.
The sandwich plate?
Exactly. Yeah. And then they moved that tie rod pickup point like as close as they could. And so obviously what would happen is like as you would extend it out, you were fighting against the fulcrum point, you know what I mean, to get that knuckle back. So it was like you'd feel it, like you were telling me this a couple weeks ago, like you'd feel it go to full lock and you're like, fuck, like now I've really got to fight it to get it back.
Bryant told me about those knuckles that were on there.
Yeah.
He said that was like a version 1.
Yeah, they're old, dude.
Yeah.
And since then, like even Part Shop Max now is coming out with like really, really nice versions of the same thing with like the Heim joints and shit. And I think had I done like offset spacers for the steering rack, it probably would have been a little bit better.
I run a sandwich plate knuckle on my Chaser.
Yeah. Which ones did you go with?
The Speed Stars.
Okay.
By they're the Taniguchi knuckles.
Damn. Okay, I see you.
You know Taniguchi, the dude that did that was a Netflix show. Hyperdrive.
Yeah.
He's like a Jay-Z pro from like down
GZX
south.
110. Yeah.
He has like a couple knuckles, the Speed Star, and then the something else star. Basically, in the description, in the English that it had, was like, drive like Sylvia. I was like,
yeah.
Yes. I'm a Sylvia guy, so this is what I need.
Did those have the same issue? No?
No. Well,
Yeah.
I bought Brent. Basically, what you do is you take the stock knuckle joint, ball joint, and you just cut off the tie rod pickup.
Yeah.
And then you put that on top of or under the sandwich knuckle,
Yeah.
and then that has the new pickup point.
Yep.
But they're strong.
Right. Because that one didn't space the knuckle out, right? It just went right on top.
Yeah. Just run right on top of it.
And that Altezza one, like that's where I fucked up with Blind was because it also pushed the wheel out. I don't know why, just to give you more camber, I think.
So in the installation instructions, there's a recommendation of tension rods to go with it. You need adjustable to put fixed caster.
Yeah.
with I think it was like 15 mils of additional caster
Mm-hmm.
to get the geometry right.
Right. What was it like for you to switch from because I think the thing with the chasers too is like having such a long wheelbase.
Well,
makes
my
them a
car
little
came
more
with
stable.
the Heyman knuckles.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
mine
yeah.
already came with knuckles, and I didn't know. I was still learning about JZX stuff at the time that the Heyman knuckle, like 500 PS or 800 PS version or whatever, it looks exactly the same as the stock JZ knuckle that's on the Chaser, Mark II, Cresta, Altezza.
Yeah.
It looks exactly the same. There's just subtle differences in the lengths of the tie rod point.
Yeah.
And like me looking at it, look at my suspension for the first time under my car, I'm like, this looks bone stock.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
So you chopped up the Heyman shit to fit the new ones?
No, I took them off and I bought.
Oh, I got
I
you.
had already ordered all my parts.
Yeah.
And then someone verified that they are actually solid knuckles. I just sold them to a buddy.
Nice.
Or gave them to a buddy. I don't know. I think it was blind. We traded some shit.
Right. So what was it like for you to go from a shorter wheelbase chassis like a Silvia to a JZX 100? Like, what did that feel like?
My
as a
Chaser
driver?
drives like an S14.
Really? It didn't feel
It's
that much
not
different?
it's not as snappy.
Yeah.
Like you can make it snappy by being the input to make it snappy.
Right.
But it reacted the same.
Yeah.
And then like if you were to drive more mellow, then you'd notice the longer wheelbase and how long the car actually is.
Right.
And like it's really lazy.
Yeah. That's how I felt with the
because you
Altezza.
got the torque to back up from the 1J.
Right.
Whereas the SR in a stock SR with boost up on it, it's super snappy and it's almost like scared to control it. Like you can't be scared to control how snappy it is.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the Chasers, you can be really lazy.
Yeah.
And be out there like this.
Get one of those like wooden knobs on the steering wheel.
Bus driver knob.
Oh yeah, dude. All right, man. We're getting up on our time. Do you want to just wrapping up here? So we have a segment on the show called "Giving Our Roses," either to people that we know, people that we follow on social media, or whatever, people that inspire us. Like, who do you want to give roses to? It's basically like instead of commemorating them when they die, it's just like, all right, you're still alive and you're popping. So here you go.
I want to give roses to the Shitbox King group
Bet. We'll post them on our Instagram too.
and the Doink Squad.
Okay. What about you, Quan? You got roses?
Well, I don't have any social media no more, so
That's true, dude. Quan's got Discord and he barely uses that.
He's off the grid.
I went off the grid.
Off the grid.
Yeah, you're right.
I've done that once too.
On that note, thank you all so much for listening. Thank you for guys that have bought the merch so far. If you haven't even bought it, don't sweat it. Just listening and supporting is huge, and it's fun. We've got a bunch of new topics that we're going to be bringing out that listeners have submitted. If you got stuff you want to hear us talk about, write into us. We have an email as well, sincerelyjapanpodcast@gmail.com. But aside from that, thank you, Quan. Thank you, Jared, for being here. This won't be the last time for sure. So
Fun.
later.
Later.